Question 34. This is a very straightforward question. We are given some statements or the options that we have to find whether they are correct or not. And we have a paragraph in which we have statements suggesting the placement of bees in a hive, in a beehive. We'll go forward with the question. These are the statements that have been sorted out from the question. These are not the options that were given to us. So in this last statement, Q shares a wall with everyone. So Q is the queen bee. This is the important statement. What we will do is we'll bring it forward and make a Q cell on the right figure. We'll mark it with a Q, suggesting it is the hive of the hive cell of queen bee. Now the second statement, T and V are neighbors of P. So we will again draw these cells according to this statement around Q only. Then moving on to the third statement, R and S are neighbors of U. We will again draw these cells around the queen cell. Now if you look at the fourth statement, it suggests V does not share a wall with T, U or R. So here V is sharing a wall with R. Hence we need to switch between R and S. After sharing, all the four statements are being true in the given figure. They have been followed and this is the figure that we receive. So this is a correct figure according to the question. Now we will have to answer which of the statement or the options given by the question are true or false. So these were the options given to us and we have to find which of the options are correct. If you look at option A, it says S and V are neighbors, which is correct according to the figure that we have derived from the previous statements. Hence option A is correct. Option B states R and T are neighbors. If you see in the figure, R and T, they are neighbors. Hence this statement is also correct. Moving on to option C, P and U share a wall, which is false. According to the figure, it is not possible. Option D states S and T are not neighbors. If you look in the figure, S and T, they do not share any wall, hence they are not neighbors. So from the given figure and the given statements, it is clear that option A, B and D are the correct option and option C is not the correct option. Question 35. Here we are given questions based on knots. So we have four arrangements given here and we have to find whether these are going to turn out into a knot or not. So we will try one by one, like whether we can see which all options turn out to be a knot. So before I begin, I would like to suggest that questions like these could have been solved in the exam very easily if we could have done a little hack. For example, we could have taken 2 strips of paper here if we had that available in the examination hall, and we could have tried all these combinations, right? So it's not a cheating, it's just like the resources that you are having and it's just like a hack. You could have used it easily because this type of question could be very hard to simulate there because it has a lot of complexity. So we will go forward and try to solve this question. Taking option 1, like option A, if we see, we can easily notice that left hand side thread is nothing, just a solenoid. So if we pull these 2 threads apart, we can see that it turns out to be this kind of arrangement, right? And this is in no way a knot. So we will mark A as wrong, like it cannot form a knot. Moving on to option B, this seems to be a little complex arrangement, and if we try to pull left and right apart, like on the directions, we will see this kind of structure will form, which seems to be a knot. If we try to pull it out, so we can see that it is turning out to be a knot. So we will mark B as correct. Moving on to option C, we again see that if it's just a single solenoid loop here, and if we try to pull it, it will again turn out to be a similar kind of arrangement as in option A. So C is also not capable of forming a knot. Moving on to option D, if you see that this is somehow seems to be a good knot. So if we pull it apart, we can see that it turns out to be a square knot. So this is also a knot, like this kind of arrangement can form a knot and it's a pretty handy knot. So we'll mark option D as true. Hence our answers are A and C because they have asked in the questions which all options cannot be used to form a knot. Question 36. This question is related to dices, like the unfolding of dices, and this question was given full marks whoever attempted it because there was some mistake with this question. Apparently, we'll try to solve this question and let's see how the question was supposed to be solved. So here we have 6 dices unfolded on a plane. All the 6 dices are not given, so for our convenience, we have recreated that pattern. So these are the 6 unfolded dices, and all the 6 dices are identical. Like the numbers written on them are in identical position, and they have been rotated to fit the places, and they are not overlapping each other. So, and this is the 7th dice on the right, yellow colored dice. For our convenience, we have colored it yellow, and we have to put this dice in the place of x. Like one of those points has to come at the place of x, and we have to see which all points could come there without overlapping the given arrangement. So we'll go with first A option, and we will see, like if we place 4 in this position at x, the yellow dice overlaps with the green and the orange and the blue. So this arrangement is not possible. If we rotate it and put it in this placement, then again it overlaps with the blue and the green dice. So we'll mark it wrong, that this is not possible. It cannot be placed at the place of x without overlapping. Then we go to the option B. This option, we see that the 3 can be placed in this position and it does not overlap with the given arrangement. So this is a possibility. But if we try to put it in the rotated position, then it will overlap as it did in the option A. Then we go with the option C, and we see that it is again overlapping with the green dice, unfolded dice. So this option C cannot also be included in this. Again, in this arrangement also, if we rotate it, place 5 at the position of x, this is not possible without any overlap. So we'll put a cross in this. Like this is not possible. Now we go with the option D, in which we can clearly see that the 2 is replacing the x, and it has been put in a way that it is not overlapping with the already given arrangement. So option D is can also be used to place the 7th dice. Hence, according to the question, the A and C cannot be placed in the given arrangement.